Yo guys, how you doing? We are back with Magnus one more time on the armour. That's a bit of a lie. It's going to be at least like 2 or 3 more times past this, so I hope you're ready for the long haul on this shit. This is going to take a while to do. On the last stream, we got everything red, and we went a very strange route to get there. Black base coat, blended up through blue, all the way up to white, elements of yellow before we put a red filter over the top of that using a red ink, and came up with this. And this is a beautiful, beautiful red. So, it's going to be a lot of fun getting this painted. Now, also on my board is a special treat that I was sent today. These are super cool. These are some 3D printed Necron themed objective markers, measuring gauges, combat gauge. I think this is a Sigma thing, but kind of useful for 40k. I'm digging it. I like this. These are cool. And it's turn counter, which, let's be honest, is properly 40k. This is really quite nice. So these are all 40k Necron themed. Now, I've been given a discount code for you guys. Okay, let's pop that down to a bit more of an appropriate level. Given the discount code for you guys, exclamation point Strata, S-T-R-A-T-A in the chat. You'll see it pop up in the little image gallery here every now and again as well, and also exclamation point tokens as well. You can get yourself 5% off of these sets. These are made 3D printed in the UK, and I'm a big fan. Like, this is pretty cool. I like the fact that I've got something now that is nicely sort of themed to my army. I'm a big fan of this sort of thing. The objectives as well, they've been very clever with this. It took me a second to work it out. Rather than 1 to 6, which doesn't exist anymore, who needs 1 to 6? We've got 2 A's, 2 B's, a C and a D, because that actually matches what you have to deploy in the chapter approved Grand Tournament mission pack. So, huge fan of that. I think at some point during the next couple of weeks, we might just paint this up for the fun of it and then give it away, because I don't really have any use for this on the road. But somebody might get a bit of a kick out of it. So maybe we'll have a go at doing that. Who knows? Who knows? In the chat tonight so far, we've got Strata Miniatures. There we go. Oh, it's 3 inches from the objective. Oh. I thought that was like the base of your mini. That makes all the sense in the world. I'm so glad you're here, dude. Yeah, I thought that was like you put it on a base. There you go. I'm 3 inches away. I was clearly mistaken. So if you want to get your hands on some of those tokens, they've got a couple of different like themes. It's obviously the Necron theme. There's an Imperial theme. I'm pretty sure there's a Chaos theme, and probably some more as well. Go and check out the links in those 2 commands: tokens and Strata. We've got Selvirus, Tiz, Pearl Jam. How you doing, brother? Nidge, Dez, Crash Test UK, Ventress, Fish, and AJC72. Hopefully you guys are all having a great day. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. So, make some room. First thing I'm going to do with all of the armor is start getting the gold down. There's no point in highlighting the red and shading that just yet, because I don't really know how much of this is going to be gold. We want to keep it very much red and keep as much of that red as possible, but clearly some elements of this do need to be gold. So while we work that out this evening, next stream come back in, get all the reds highlighted, get some recess shading done, and then move on from there. Cookie Grain, it wasn't a migraine. It was basically to give you guys more information than you need, I suppose. On the Saturday night, I was staying around my other house, and I got the worst night's sleep possible. I think I maybe got about 2.5 hours due to several different factors. I'll let you use your imagination for some of those. And went for a walk on the Sunday, feeling a little bit knackered, but nothing crazy, and just got the most tremendous headache in the front of my face. So, yeah. Blah. Look a bit smidge scary on a TV scale. Nice. Unfortunate you're feeling like shit, mate. I Hope you're not doing too badly. So yeah, Sunday was a write-off. We went out for a walk, like I said, went back to hers, and basically just sort of collapsed on the sofa. I had sort of hot and cold sweats a little bit. And then when I got home, just didn't want to be too far away from a toilet. I had a bit of an issue. So yeah, happy days, right? Oh man, that sucks. That's not good at all. Sorry to hear that, fish. So what we're using currently is Viking Gold from P3. I want this gold to be slightly different to the normal gold that we do. So we're probably not going to be going with a wash all over of purple and then flesh tone and then coming in with re-highlights and so on. And there are a couple of reasons for that. The first one is that this is super intricate stuff. Some of these patterns that we end up painting gold are really, really tiny and very picky. And what I don't want to do is run the risk of messing up the red by having to go through this several times. Celtic Craig getting his sub on. Thank you very much, dude. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Crooked Green. There's a lot of horrible shit at the moment, but that's just welcome to October. Surprise. What can you do? But yeah, that was not ideal. Obviously, completely fine now, which is mostly true. Something bad happened today, but I'm not going to get into it at the moment. We're just going to enjoy the evening, get our paint on, and go from there. What more could I ask for? Eh? Sat here painting Maggie, chilling out with my mates on the internet. It's all good. Waiting for T-Var to take over. I mean, had we actually gone for the zombie apocalypse as the real option back in March, I feel the world would be in a slightly better place by now. Like, I feel like they're okay in a zombie apocalypse. I think living in Baal would be better at the moment. Even with the Tyranids there, maybe. Maybe. So this is what I was talking about. Some of these details, super small. But as soon as you pick them out, the red just starts to come to life even more than it already was. This is insane. This zombie thing, we would have failed this so hard. I mean, the way that we went about it, yes. But that's mostly because, let's be honest, the zombie apocalypse haircut of choice is clearly the mohawk. Clearly. This, very apocalypse friendly. Yet it turns out that the end of the world haircut is actually the mullet, based on current social trends. And that's why, as a society, human race is clearly not fit to carry on. You know. We have regressed to the mullet stage. Item closest to your zombie weapon, hot water bottle it is. Dude, I've got so much on this desk. So much. I actually... This is bizarre. I have a painting handle that I use for doing lots of stuff that's got a magnet attached to it. So let's say I've had to do a load of magnetized weapons for a Space Marine squad or something similar, right? I have a painting handle, which is a large metallic stick with a plastic handle. Can anyone guess what its normal function is? Give you a clue, it's sharp on one edge. M. Sherman, I'm not selfish. I just want all the world's gold. I mean, we're painting gold now. Crooked Grin. It's not that. It isn't that. Like I said, sharp on one side. Maybe you like to live a very dangerous kind of life with that in mind. No, sharp. I bought that plan. Absolutely, I bought that plan. Oh, you guys are great. So who's got some hobby on tonight? Who's going to be painting while I'm painting? I know Fish is staring at the ceiling thinking, oh God, why is this happening to me? Sorry for you, brother. Nose picker. You could use it like that if you like. French Bulldog would not be a good zombie apocalypse weapon. It would be a good zombie apocalypse companion. But I feel if you tried to hit a zombie with a Bulldog, you would come off worse. The zombie would be completely fucked, don't get me wrong. But that Bulldog is not going to be... not going to be happy with you afterwards. And basically you might lose an ankle. Fish that your guitar using the feet. Oh, sweet, dude. Get him in the whip later on. Let's have a look. We gave you quite a lot of feedback, so I'd be really impressed to see how far you've come on with it, man. Got to get that cardio in, man. See, I don't need to get that much cardio in because I've just got to run faster than the other guy. Currently, the other guy is my housemate, who, when he leaves the house for work in the morning, the Jurassic Park theme tune plays. Boom. Boom. Okay, comments up. No worries, dude. Next time, man. Next time. Also, good on you for your strong dental hygiene. This feels very Blood Angel, this kind of little winged skeleton humanoid figure. Especially the gold and the red. Such a lovely gold, this. Building Janezar and Drazar. Nice. Polly's doing battle damage on Gaz. You feel your eyes giving up. Mate, I can understand. Nidge, you just chill, man. Just chill. Ventress gets some more Sons of the Phoenix done. I like it. Always been a fan of that colour scheme. The clean white and purple. Very solid. Is that... Yes, it is, Daddy Tubbs. Yes, it is. It's all a bit of a myth. As long as you keep cleaning your brush, you're okay. Everyone goes mad, like, you know, must use synthetics or metallics. No. The only thing you have to use synthetics for is oils, because the chemicals we use to thin it just dissolve the synthetic hairs. The natural hairs. You know, we use some pretty aggressive thinners and spirits. It just strips all the oil out of the hair, stops them being any good whatsoever. Painting an etheric navigator. What is an etheric navigator? Why do I feel like I know what that is, but just can't remember it. Is this... Oh, wait, this is your cyberpunk dwarf peoples. I know what this is. Got to keep your tip clean. Absolutely. So don't worry, Eat Oil Paint's got it. I mean, if you want to take exactly what I said and ignore every part of it until that, then by all means, son, you go for it. It was nice knowing you, Commissar Bob. Having accidentally eated. That's what eating oil paints does for you. Eated. Rob, I saw your Discord sort of recap of the game. Very impressed, mate. Well done. Sounded like it was close. It was very close. I got a pasting with my Necrons on... Well, no, that's a lie. It wasn't a pasting, actually. But I was definitely in the back seat going into turn 4 for my opponent. I think if we'd played and included painting scores, I might have edged it out, but... Dodgy. Dodgy. Fish, do not start a Howling Griffin's army. Promise you, you will regret that 1 mini in. Nick Lambourne, who's one of the guys that paints for Siege, he and I shared a room in Jib, and his new Marine army is the... Oh, fuck, I've forgotten what they're called. Some Space Marine chapter, but it's red and yellow, half and half, with crossed axes on the shoulders. It's rough. Got 3 of the old knights, 2 armor gears. Should I get the new one? What new one? Do you mean like the Castellan and Valiant? Not at the moment, mate. Best knight army list at the moment, as far as I'm concerned, is still the list that I took to No Retreat. 3 Crusaders, 3 armor gears. Done. That was against Majartin. He took a very tough list full of Sanguinary Guard, which right now are probably point for point one of the most efficient units in 40k. They got some gigantic buffs in their index, which we know is going to be changing things soon anyway. You know, that's just the way that the world is going right now. That whole model of, like, we just FAQ'd your previous codex to get it aiming towards regular Space Marines, so we can then boost you with a supplement in a bit. We know that's what's going to happen. So it wouldn't surprise me if they change, you know, the rules change, the unit becomes essentially a different unit. You know, it is what it is. But currently, those Sangard are ridiculous. And he took quite a lot of them as well. He took 2 units of 8 with 4 hammers and 4 axes in one. 4 hammers, 3 axes and a sword. And sorry, not hammers, fists. I meant fists for all of that. By the way, just this weekend, just... What? Kets. Excellent news, mate. Excellent news. Get them stakes on. I'll take mine just on the medium side of medium rare, please. Comes up, peace out, mate. Only got 1 Gatling gun, a kit with 2 knights in it. Oh, okay, so you bought the Renegade box. I'm with you. So the best knight to buy is Canis Rex, because you get the full Crusader kit, plus the extra sprue for the pilot and so on, right? which, by the way, is the only infantry model you can take as an Imperial Knight, is that guy that gets out at the night and runs around. So, you know, just in case we need to be infantry for any chance of winning a mission, that's the way as a Knight player. Take Canis Rex, let it die, and cover that motherfucker. Don't know if he's got the character keyword or not. Alright, I'm just going to do the sort of embossed bits to this. We'll leave the field behind it in red still. This is what we're aiming for, yeah? Lots and lots and lots of red with a little bit of gold, because by the time you then put this next to that, I mean, look at it, right? How fucking majestic is that? We'll send it by drone. Oh, I've always wanted to get something delivered by drone. Ever since there was that rumor that Amazon was going to start doing like drone deliveries, I was like, I am going to be a Prime member just for this. Literally just for this. Hasn't happened yet. All I get is some dude that just randomly drops off parcels and doesn't knock on the door. I have to wait for the app to tell me, by the way, you've just got a delivery. What really sucks is that Element Games have started using Amazon Logistics to do their deliveries. Which means that if I get an Element order, there could quite conceivably be hundreds of pounds worth of GW kit just sat on my doorstep, unknown to anyone. You know. Maladeus, let's get them dopamines all fired up. How you doing, Chief? Just a little bit, just in that corner. Didn't get it on the red, I promise you. Drone was seeing Milton Keynes with their ground-based drones. Wow, okay. The Armigers that are better, I genuinely believe that the Armiger Helverin is the best of the set. It's so good. So good. Fish, I'm not surprised, mate. If you think that's bad, I have to pick up my poster in the post office. My son let one of my dogs out once. He had to pass on the postman and run back in. Motherfucker. Ugh. It's a very expensive way to raise those banners, Des. But, you know, that's what we've got to do. Also, if he's a character, you can't raise the banners anyway, because he's got the character keyword. If he was just infantry, you know, be okay. We can't even have that, can we? Rob, no. But I know a lot of people that have, and apparently they're great. Awesome, dude. Cake fist. No worries, enjoy the wall. Let's get this bit of armor trim. I'm not going to do the inside so much, but we'll just get a quick cursory sort of pass on there, just in case you can see some of it from when the leg plate is attached. So just a quick pass around that. End of the day, if you can't see it, it doesn't matter if you paint it or not, right? I'm never going to leave parts of a miniature unpainted. On purpose, at least. But let's not fool ourselves, you know. So there's one leg plate. Like I said, going to keep a lot of the red, just a little few accents of gold. Going to do a little bit to this eye, I think. Won't paint the eyeball itself. I want to keep that red. But maybe we do the eyelids. No, that would look really, really weird. We'll leave it for now. We'll leave it. So, who's been coming up with new lists from the new Necrons and new Marines codexes? And what are you thinking? I've got some ideas for a couple of Necron lists that I'm putting together. Some of that is going to be on a little bit of a pause, unfortunately. But hopefully. Frozzian won't have creature caster stuff, surely. Because they don't 3D print that, they cast it. It's cast resin. Jaeger, honestly, it was really shit. And I mean that in a literal sense as well. So I have a headache all the time, which some of you guys know. This is from an old wrestling accident, an injury, and I just have a headache. I've had it now for a little over 17 years, and you get used to it, and this is why I like to be busy. As long as I'm busy, I can push that shit to the back of my mind, just get on with things, and away we go. So, I'm usually alright when it comes to just a little bit of pain. Doesn't really matter. But Sunday night, the headache that I had sort of migrated from being its usual headache-ness to being like this full face, like not sinuses, but really forward pain. And that was... oh, God, it was just unpleasant. And something that you guys may know is that when you're in pain, there's usually a lot of additional toxins in your body. You know, some of them are being generated and created by your body, and some of them obviously are what you've done, what you maybe taken or imbibed to cause the pain, like hangover. That's those toxins, right? But when you've got those toxins in your system, they've got to come out. And I've always found that if I'm in a significant amount of pain, I might need to use a little bit more often than normal. So, you know, that's what we ended up with on Sunday. It meant I had to cut my visit to see the missus short at the weekend. And she was kind of worried about me because that's the first time she's seen any side of that kind of thing from me. But, you know, it's one of those things. Infantry and Dread Heavy. Nice. I just know I'm going to be running an Apothecary. So, yes, Apothecary's pretty strong right now. They have been throughout quite a lot of 8th edition, especially with the Iron Hands list, where you were getting that 5++ from Father of the Future, plus like Fyros with his invulnerable saves going on and everything else. It was pretty fucking obnoxious, I'm not going to lie. Apothecaries can currently do things like raise ATVs, back at full health, heal them, and so on. And Jamartin was using Corbulo to good effect to do that in the game we played on Saturday. Managed to get one of them down to only a couple of wounds because I had nothing else to shoot at. And I knew it'd be wasted shots if I killed it because he'd get it back to full. So I was hoping to get it down to like one wound and then hopefully murder the pair of them the following turn. But he just heals D3 a turn on the bike because it is a bike, which is super dumb because it's got no base. That's the part of it I don't get. If it's a bike, why doesn't it have a base? Because it's not a vehicle, so it should have a base. Cats, totally, man, totally. The missus suffers from migraines that are not hemorrhagic, something, which are pretty fucking nasty from the sounds of it. So it's a Hellbat. Brilliant. Brilliant. I wish they were better in competitive StarCraft when I was playing it than they actually were. And the walking flame suit dudes, they were sick as well, but it's all about that Marine Marauder Medivac combo back then. Although to be fair, I played on random, so sometimes it was fucking pylon rush. Yeah, it can so it can explode. Yeah, like every part of its rules say vehicle, apart from the keyword that says bike. It's unnatural, I tell you, unnatural. What I think we're going to do is we'll do these leg plates and we'll do these leg plates and then we'll look at what they look like on Magnus so we can get a feel for it. These we might even glue on because they're in 2 halves, which is a pain in the ass and a half. No, that would be done. We should definitely paint the rest of the red and the gold before we do that. I nearly talked myself into doing something really stupid there just to see what it would look like. I swear that was the sort of design brief for Jackass. Just finished first of 10 of 60 Poxwalkers. Will this ever end? No. Pox goes on, man. Pox goes on. You can paint them relatively quickly, though. You can get through it. Fair. See, I have a prescription that is like a lifetime prescription for tramadol and diazepam. And I don't take either one of them. I don't. Haven't refilled the prescription. It's probably lapsed by now, actually, thinking about it, because I haven't refilled it. But I haven't refilled it for 16 and a bit years. I hate taking any of that shit. So we're now at the point where I won't even take a paracetamol. Still don't quite get these angel dudes. These are just weird. But yeah, thinking for my Necron list. I'm going to pick up the Silent King because he's a badass. I mentioned on the last stream, I think, about getting a custom version of the Nightbringer 3D sculpted. And then having that printed out and maybe doing something for you guys in the community where you could pick one up yourself. That's probably not going to happen now because of the events of today. So I end up needing to do some sort of conversion or just buying the fine cast bloody version and putting myself through that pain, which I'm less than enthused about, as I'm sure you guys can tell from my tone of voice at this point. I know a lot of people use the Morghast, but to me that doesn't look like the Nightbringer. It just looks like some fucking weirdo. I'm not gonna go into it today, Crownblade, but I had some bad news, put it that way. So I've got to rethink a couple of priorities. But don't worry, we're all good. do like this armor. Jaeger, yeah, it's horrible shit. Horrible shit. Janelson, how you doing? Saw you with your Instagram post, watching one of your favourite streamers. I'm like, but I'm not on air. What bullshit is this? It's okay, you said one of. Donna-chan, I painted all mine in complete assemblies. Was a pain, but they're not so bad. They're not one of the worst things to paint like that. I was just more impressed by the cat, to be honest, you know. That is one cute kitty. I reckon 45 to 50 bones in life so far, but no side effects yet. Oh, it'll happen, brother. Like, I'm sure it will. And I hope you manage to dodge that for as long as possible. We've got arthritis in hands because of a misspent youth, we'll say. Everything clicks and crunches and so on. You know, were they your bones? Brilliant. Oh, codeine's nasty. Sends me loopy, and then gives me some pretty out there stomach cramps. All that stuff is no good for your system. You know what worries me is my hip from when I got run over because it broke. Ooh! 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 Rough. Rough. Absolute rough. What did you get run over by? Don't say a shopping trolley. Right. Just no. Well, the boss has got run over by a forklift truck. If I'm completely honest, I think it was probably on purpose because he was quite a cunt. And he's on and has been on a cocktail of drugs ever since. Because one of the complications from it was like this build-up of fluid on his leg, and had to have like a pump that he would carry around in like a little satchel with him at all times. So it was basically working like a spare kidney and just trying to purify some of the blood around his leg. But he went literally insane from all these pills he was taking. He had no real like memory for things anymore. Just so bad. However, some might say slightly calmer. Remember rule 1, guys. Don't be a dick. Just finished building the big skelly boy. Nice, dude. Nice. I'm picking him up on payday. So, week or so to go. Then we'll get the Silent King. Might get the Void Dragon. I mean, he's good, but... other than that, I might pick up a second Doom Scythe. I bought one off of Mikey, who had a spare. Because you don't really need 3 flyers anymore. Now that you need an air wing to run them, and it doesn't exist, you can only take 2 in any detachment. And you're trying to usually limit the number of detachments that you're taking. 2 is usually your maximum. So I've got one, might pick up a second one. As much as I'd love to buy a monolith or 3, the price doesn't really put me off. Although, right now that's not something we're considering. The fact that they're a Lord of War, and the only real way to run them is with the Silent King, that kind of puts me off. Dr. Rhino, how you doing, man? Polly, that sounds grim. That sounds super, super grim. Fish, I can fully understand that one. Rolled out from under the back. Type number 4. I lost that a long time ago. Hey, Cold, how'd you break your back playing soccer? You're meant to fake the injuries and the contact in soccer. So, you see planes in 40k, but not as much. However, Necrons with the Croissant of Doom, which one? What's it called? Doom Scythe. There you go. That's pretty fucking good. That's really, really good. It's 200 points. For that 200 points, you're given a platform that's got a heavy death ray. I think it's called a heavy death ray. Basically, it's a death ray that fires 3 shots at strength 12, minus a load, d6 damage. So minus 4 or 5, I can't remember. Oh wait, no, actually it might be 3 or 4. It's the Doom Scythe, not the Doom Scythe, the Doomsday gun that goes up to 5. So yeah, that's pretty fucking good. Ichu, what up, dude? I said I was faking, but a guy came sliding towards me. I jumped up to avoid him, but he kicked both my legs right into me, flipping and landing. Oh, nice. Nice. That sucks, man. That sucks. Right, there's the leg plates done. I'm still not sure what, if anything, I want to do to these eyes. I think I'm just going to leave them, do them red. As soon as you start putting gold in there, it's going to look really gaudy and a little bit there. And I like how we've limited the gold on all of this for now. So we'll pop those down. We'll move on to the other leg plates, for which there, fortunately, on one side of these isn't any gold whatsoever to do. A couple of little rivets and this bit of trim, but nothing super delicate. That's nice. This, we're just going to thin it slightly with some water and get a couple of coats to get a nice smooth finish here. The new giraffes are great. They are great. I really like them. So there's a massive debate about which is better. The Doomstalker or the Doomsday Ark. And there's a lot of differences between them. So the Doomsday Ark has got the new version of quantum shielding on it, which means that you get a 5-up invuln save forever, and you basically get transhuman. So for those of you that don't play Space Marines or play against Space Marines, that means you can only be wounded on a wound roll of a 4+ unmodified. So 1s, 2s, and 3s always fail. Now that's obviously super good. Super, super good. But the Doomstalker has a 4-up invulnerable save at all times. Now the Doomsday Ark can get his invuln save up to a 4+ with the use of Strap. That's the new Atomantic shielding or whatever it was called. So both of those have got like a similarity to them. Type number 4 has absolutely nailed it. Ark, more firepower. Stalker, not painting an Ark. Been there, painted 3. I fucking hate them. They're so annoying. Today's stream isn't sponsored by Jackass. It just contains quite a few of them. So the Doomsday Arc itself. Oh, here he is! Justin, the man, is here. It's the AMP Services himself. Let's get some exclamation point DRD in the stream in honor of this man. You know what time it is. It's time for you to go to work, I think. It's what time it is. But there we go. Everyone, go check out Death Ray Designs. I got the dreaded letter. Let's not dox myself. This is from my my postal service. These are the shittest letters to get as well. Import parcel invoice information. Just to allow them to deliver the parcel. After already paying $78 for shipping. Ooh. I'm really looking forward to painting this scenery. Oh mate, we did, but it's just one of the things that happens, right? End of the day, you've got to pay the freight. It is what it is. It's rough. I saw it today, I'm like, well, I really want the kit, so I'm going to pay for it. So Justin, my man, I cannot wait to be playing with this Necron terrain. Gonna pick up some spray paint and try and blast out. We'll do like a bit of a vlog style video, which I will try and edit myself. This could go horribly wrong. To get it up on YouTube. I can neither confirm nor deny that I may receive the occasional gift of aromatherapy candles. I mean, technically speaking, that's correct. You set fire to them, they smell lovely, and it makes me happy. From friends in low places. And I frequently don't have to pay any freight on that, as it's a gift that weirdly only costs like $30. Crazy, right? Absolutely. Justin, make it happen, man. If you need someone to go and represent you, I will go and stay 2 meters away and tell them to stock your stuff once I've seen it for myself. But I am hyped, man. I am fucking hyped. Just linking your website earlier on today, I just kept looking at the Necron terrain. I'm like, this is so nice. This is so nice. Big fan. I don't want to paint that gold because I've just realised that runs through underneath this and it's a snake with a bird head. Rather than it being that bit should be gold, so we won't paint that bit gold. We're just gonna have to be real careful with some red highlights on that shit. But how was your stream, Justin? What were you up to today? See, it's Mohawk. Imagine what I'd do if you don't stock terrains. Absolutely, man. I mean, it's almost like you were there in person, let alone spirit. But honestly, mate, check them out. Check out Element. Check out Firestorm Games in Cardiff. I know they stock a lot of various companies' MDF terrain. It might be something that they can look into, perhaps. And you guys are like old schoolers when it comes to this. Had some cosplay stuff shut up and had to open it. A few Funkos. One of my viewers sent me 2 minis he painted me. Awesome, man. Dude, that's super sick. What's cosplay? Is this something you're dressing up as? I'm going to do all this bit gold. It's going to have gaudy ankles. What do you call ankle jewelry? Bangles? I don't know. Your first ever cosplay build? Dude. Okay, I'm going to try and guess. Give me some clues as to who it might be. If it's an anime thing. Oh, it's a Mando suit. There you go. I guessed. Straight away. Guessed. Awesome, man. That's sweet. Like, I'm not really into Star Wars and stuff, but I've seen a lot of people doing cosplay, and the amount of effort that they go to, it's amazing. Really fucking seriously amazing. Always blown away by stuff like that. Oh wow, man, that's awesome. One of the first things I wanted to be when I was a kid was working the film industry doing like realist effects, so not like your Industrial Light and Magic. And was it the Matrix people, Wachowski brothers sort of style of computer graphics and stuff, but like real animatronics, like real props. But it sounds good, dude, and I do love Imperial Fists. Are you still excited to play your Imperial Fists? That's a big question. Yeah, like Jim Henson stuff. Yeah, exactly like that. So like the original Jurassic Park, the first film, they had a load of animatronic dinosaurs and stuff on. It's like, I'd love to do that for forever. Imperial Fist did get kind of nerfed. They got quite nerfed, and I don't care. They're up for commission. Cool. I hope your client is still okay with them. Can you paint them dark green instead, please? Oh, wow, man. I grew up watching things like Wallace and Gromit when that was still stop motion, like the claymation. Nick Park, is that the guy? Everyone's going mental about Dark Angels Terminators. They're good, don't get me wrong. You know, they've got that definite like durability, but you still got to get on objectives. And so all I'll do is ignore your Terminators whilst I kill everything else in your army, and I walk away from them quite quickly because I don't want to get in combat with them, don't get me wrong. I should probably do this little icon. Autobotus. Celebrity Deathmatch. Oh my god, yes. I bought so much of that on VHS. Jesus Christ, that stuff was amazing. Just an epic idea. Can you imagine if they did Celebrity Deathmatch now, though? Like with some of the weird celebrities that we've got these days. Dude, peace out, man. Great to see you. Exclamation point DRD in the chat in honor of Justin. Let's get some love for AMP Studios. If you don't already follow that guy, what the fuck are you even doing? Seriously. Follow that man. Peace out, homie. Have a good one. He's a great dude. Super positive vibes all the time in his stream. One day I'm going to catch him in a bad mood. You know. And then all my illusions of how nice a man he is will be shattered. Gone forever. Can't see it happening though. More recent equivalent would be epic rap battles of history. Haven't seen that. God, can you just imagine like Terry Crews versus Justin Bieber? That would be brilliant. Cast of Towie versus the cast of EastEnders. Battle Royale style. Celebrity Deathmatch was never about weight class, surely. Didn't they do one with Steve Austin? Sure, I did one with Steve Austin. Wait. Vader versus Hitler. What? What? I was expecting, like, rappers. I was going to name some and then realized I only know, like, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. And then I'm kind of out. So, like, didn't want to go deep on that, you know. I wasn't expecting both historical and made-up characters. Cheers, dude. Boom Echo, we are painting the armour for Magnus the Red, which is the most ornate, crazy shit in the world. So on the last stream, we did all the red. We've got loads of armour panels here that we're working on. And now we're just putting the gold down. The reason we're doing it this way rather than highlighting all the red first, which is what I would normally tend to do just because of habit, is because A, I don't want to put too much gold on this, he says, as he paints an entire gold circle, which I appreciate is completely contrary to what I've just said. I want to keep this very, very focused in on the red. I did say historical as well as made up. I'm pretty sure I did. I certainly meant to. Thanos versus Oppenheimer. Oh, holy shit. Well, I need something to watch while I'm working tomorrow. Oh, what a fun day that's going to be. Now I have something. There we go. Epic rap battles of history. So yeah, we're doing the gold before we do the red. A couple of reasons. The first one is we want to make sure we keep as much of the red as possible. But I don't know which parts of the sort of heraldry and so on are going to be red. Like, I didn't realize that this fell through the mini into this face. This tail is like a long sort of feathered snake bird thing. Cockatrice, I guess, might be actually what it is. I'm only doing the bigger leg plates. I didn't want to necessarily think that some of this would be gold, just in case. Didn't know if all of that background in there would be gold as well. So we've done it this way around, so we're not wasting our efforts painting things red that are going to just be gold. And also, when we inevitably fuck up, I can clean it up when I do the red bits and save some time. So that's the plan. That's what we're going for. Still painting Magnus's wings off camera in lunch breaks. But here's what we're at so far. See, we've got that nice mother of pearl sort of colour scheme going from pink through blues and purples into a nice green, and then finally into a more yellow off at the one side. See what it looks like without the highlights. As you can see, kind of just very pastel, but now as soon as you get those highlights in, that detail starts to come back. Looks like feathers again. So we're most of the way through the first half of that wing. I've got the other one to do in its entirety. Haven't started on that one yet. So still plenty of Magnus to do. I know he said Thanos for some reason. Maybe it's because he's like a big scary death creature. It's the Art of War as well! Happy Tuesday. Much love to you guys. Let's get some love in the stream. The Art of War, the premier podcast for competitive 40k as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, chaps tactics. It's just the way it is. How are you guys doing? What were you painting this evening? Good evening to everyone that's followed in on the Art of War raid train. Happy to see you all. We're painting Magnus, the blue, red, gold, multicolour. We're painting the multicolour Magnus. This is where we're at with the wing. Building 9 attack bikes. Those fucking ATVs, man. Absolute bullshit. Bullshit. Such bullshit. So hot take. Art of War, guys. What is your opinion? Are they going to be FAQ to vehicle? They explode. They have no base. You know, there's lots of things there, to me, scream out vehicle. And it will stop a Master Apothecary just bringing one back to life. Which is the most dumbass thing I've ever seen. You think so? Take that as gospel. That's it, man. You say it's fact. JP Mason 007. Thank you for following. I know, man. How are they not vehicles? They do everything that a vehicle does. Bike. Strohut Pups. Thank you for the follow as well. Welcome to the stream, folks. 6 months after GW sells a Primaris Biker Apothecary. Ugh. When we have to start mining new oil fields just to provide the crude oil to build more ATVs, that's the point when they'll become bikes. Sorry, become vehicles and not bikes. Drunk Mystic, what up? Rival Sarah, I meant to message you today because I need to talk about those tufts. If you have some photos, can you send them over this evening? And then I can get everything sorted. Because I want to try and do the base towards the end of next week on stream. Maybe. That's the goal. That's the plan. To get through Magnus. So we're on to our Dark Angels commission for Mr. McDade, the world's #1 Dark Angels player. When no one else is playing them. Like, now the Dark Angels are becoming popular, he might drop a bit in the rankings. But he played them before they were cool. Actually, let's be honest here. Even currently, the Dark Angels are not cool. They're just, they have good Terminators. That's kind of it. So, yeah. Dark Angels, sorry guys, you're still not cool. We still all think you sit there and write little bits of slightly edgy poetry all about how loyal you are, you know. C-Rob, you get it as well. ATV, it definitely can't stand for all-terrain vehicle, right? Just, what is this? Utter bollocks. Sweet. All right, that's great, Sarah. Exclamation point rival in the chat. Go look at Sarah's goodies. Maybe go and look at her bush. I'll leave that to you. You make peace with your own god on that one. Right, shall we continue doing some gold on the rest of it, or should we just have a quick cheeky look at how this is going to look on our big boy? So here is Magnus, the blue, who will have wings that are obviously not going to be this way around, but will have that kind of colour effect on the, not petals, feathers. Apparently wings are plants now. Great. But, there we go, we got those wings. We've got the enormous ginger barnet of Magnus, which does look ferociously bright. We've got the blade of change. It goes in it. It's like a fucking Ken doll right now. It's about as anatomically correct as one as well. So there's the blade. Now let's see what the armor, the leg plates are going to look like on our boy here. We're not going to glue them down because we've still got plenty to do. But just to see the color combo, make sure everything there is looking tight. Is this leg? Whoa, look at that red. That does fucking pop off against the blue, doesn't it? Liking that. Right, let's get some of this in the background, and then let's grab this back in to make sure we've got a rough guide to our colours. I think we're looking good here, guys. This is the one downside of doing everything in sub-assemblies, especially on a model this large, right? You're always having to try and work out if what you're going to do is going to fit later on, and I'm reasonably sure this is going to be alright. Yeah, I'm buzzing over this. This is good. So what we're going to do then is we're going to carry on with the leg plates. We're going to get these finished on the gold. Then we'll start working up the red on these two thigh plates, because I want to do a bit more work on these feathers before I even start thinking about assembling the lower leg plates. But if I can get these done and seated on the model and glued on, then we know where we're aiming with everything else. But that red on that blue, that's pretty special. Yeah. Sword and the wings are awesome, but overshadowed by the red of the armor. The red is extremely strong, but that's always been the goal. By the time we've got the gold brighter, it'll just detract a little from the red. When we shade in some of these areas as well, it'll just naturally darken down a little the red. And we're not going to go too far up through the highlights. That's why we did that yellow as part of our sort of pre-highlight phase on this. We're almost not going to edge highlight any of this. We're just going to get a couple in on the very sort of far edges, the real sharp corners and stuff like that. Maybe some elements of these bird heads, but not too much. That's going to be the sort of key here. Is that the armor that was blue, white, yellow and stuff? Yes, it was. So the armor we painted black, then used blue, shaded it, all the way through blue up to an extremely pale blue, went all the way up to actual white, and then painted elements of it yellow before coming back. This is the head that we've got, the normal Cyclopean head. This is what Rocky wanted. And remember, guys, this isn't just going on like your normal 110mm base. Because what's the point in having a display model if you don't have a massive display base for it? So this was sculpted by Damien Pedley, who's a phenomenal Golden Demon winning artist. He's fucking great. Got this epic ruined temple. Now, we're going to do all of the work on this, aside from the painting element of it, using only products from Rival Crafts. So all the basing powders that I would normally use are going to come from Rival Crafts, their new MIG ammo range. So you're going to use everything that I show you on here just by going to Rival Crafts website and picking that stuff up. That's the goal. But this is a 110mm base. Well, I think 100mm base. This is just something else, right? And then this bit here, this square, seats this pillar of flame. Magnus is stood 1 foot here, 1 foot here, and that flame is directly underneath his outstretched hand. Oh yeah. Let's get a Matthew McConaughey like, alright. Right, BA, blue type, now does not want to stay. There we go. Right, let's work this gold up on these sections. We'll get this bit finished and crack on. So we're going now up to Dwarven Gold from Scale. He's just showing off, you know. 2 hours? 20 minutes, mate. I've got this shit. Someone pass me contrast good. Right. Do you paint everything in contrast paint now? Yeah. I saw somebody... Oh, God, this hurt my brain so much today. Silent King. Beautiful model. Centerpiece mini. We're going to paint it. It's going to be great. Somebody painted the Silent King using just contrast. It's not good. If you're going to spend 100 quid on a mini, at least upgrade your paints. Target number 4, I am going to speed paint it. Because it's going to be the same color scheme as the Necron army we did for the Necronathon. Currently, the list of minis for the Necronathon 2 Judgment Day is going to stand at the Silent King, 3 Locust Heavy Destroyers, 3 Canoptek Doomstalkers, 2 Doom Scythes, the Pistol Hex Man. That's his real name now, we've changed it. At least 1 Cryptek, maybe 2. I have to have the Plasmancer because it looks so sick. It's shit. Not the Plasmancer. Psychomancer. Have to have that. A couple of Necron Lords because need Necron Lords. And some Immortals. That's where we're currently at. So, Silent King and some backing dancers in the space of a weekend. It's going to happen. That's the Necronathon 2, Judgment Day. Potentially next month. Potentially next month. Oh, shit. Next month. I won't be streaming the first Thursday of next month. it's my girlfriend's birthday. So, can't very well on the first time her birthday comes up that we've been together and just be like, and later. So we're doing something really nice for your birthday tonight, Jackie. We're going to have a lovely meal. And I'm going to stream. Like, can't really do that. I remember Psychomancer, he turns off your PlayStation. He makes your controller vibrate as well. I just think it's a sick, sick mini. Paint it with your left hand. Mate, fuck no. Fuck no. The sub-assemblies on that are going to be mental. Also, Boba Fett, thank you for the follow. Also, on that weekend, though, showed these things off at the start of the stream. These are some super cool Necron-themed objective markers. Objective range measurer, so that's what we're going to call that now, and some little gaming widgets that also came with this quite sexy looking player 1, player 2 score counter. Love that. Perfectly shaped for some D10s. I got this from Strata Miniatures. Exclamation point Strata. Yes, Des. Or exclamation point tokens in the chat where you can pick this up using the code Mohawks Rock for 5% off your order. That will also help support the stream, by the way. So, you know, go and do a solid for these guys. They have done some really, really sick 3D sculpting. They've got a set of like D&D characters that are in wheelchairs. Honestly, stick with me on this. There's a story behind it which I won't tell you, but this is quite an awesome thing. They have moved quite a lot of those as well. So these guys are doing work, and they're going to be something pretty big. So I feel really great to be getting in at sort of early stage to give you guys a discount in their store. So go check that out. But we're going to do these as part of the Necronathon 2 as well, because why not have objectives to go with my army? And if I'm honest, I'll probably give this part away, because I have a similar thing to this upstairs as part of my gaming table. And I already have quite a lot of stuff I take with me to go to events. So you could win that. I'll even buy some D10s to go in it. There you go. We'll look after you. As Des has said, for those of you that weren't or aren't in Discord, why aren't you in Discord? Exclamation point Discord. Come and be a baller in Discord with myself and Moon Tyrannid. Hi, by the way. You will have missed the announcement I made on Sunday for the first of 3 minis going in the mystery giveaway this month. Exclamation point mystery and exclamation point win. You could win a £50 hobby voucher to any hobby stockist. Could be Strata. You could get yourself a couple of sets of tokens. Could be Element Games. Could be G-Dubs. Could be Rival Crafts. Could even be Mr. Chris Rosin to 3D print a sick looking mini. I say mini, they're all big. Or, exclamation point mystery, you could win a mini painted by me in a colour scheme of your choice. Last month's winner was Chimo, and he asked for a grot wearing a dressing gown covered in daisies, which is kind of what we've done, but it's still his trench coat. This is Pushkin Daisies, which is an epic name for a grot. But that was last month's winner. This month, the first of 3 prizes is pretty fucking sick. This is a very, very cool mini. Very cool mini. Ripper Jackson stood on whatever alien scumbag this was. Kind of love this. I'm desperate to paint it, just because she's awesome. But I already know what the other 2 things going in the giveaway are. Kind of desperate to paint those as well. So, either way, I get the pleasure of painting 1 epic mini in your chosen colour scheme if you're the winner. Got to be a subscriber to win that one. For the £50 hobby voucher, you don't need to be a subscriber. That goes out to anyone. But if you are a subscriber, we give you 3,000 meeps, which is our channel currency. Jack Channel currency, obviously, is going to be useful to buy your tickets for that raffle to win that voucher, though. It's almost certainly... I thought it was a Catch-Hand Devils. Was that not what they... Yeah. Is that not their big bad? Right, so let's get some highlights in on these wings. We're going to be pretty liberal with this highlight pass. So we're getting quite a lot of coverage down. We're not going to be using a wash on a lot of this gold. We use a wash to just bring in some of the shadows, but we're not going to do like an all-over wash for it. That's why we put that in that Viking gold to begin with as our first step. So rather than taking like our mid-tone color and then painting over it with a wash to create our shadows, we just started off with the shadow layer. We might just, like I said, drop a wash in on some of the darkest recesses. Just give a little bit more definition to that. But I love this gold. Look at how bright this is. Skelly Boy, obviously, plenty of room for some highlights here. That rib cage. They've done a really good job on the sculpt for this. Colour me impressed. Catch out has more than one dangerous critter. I think they're all dangerous critters. Not on this one, Janelle. No, so we're not going to do a wash at all on the gold, like I said, apart from just hitting some recesses. So the reason behind that is because there's so much detail here and such a large amount of these flat areas. I don't want to wash it because you just, on areas like that, you get a little bit of a weird effect. It doesn't ever quite look right. So, as a consequence, we're just going for slightly more old school painting methodology on these. With things like the rivets on here, we'll drop a little bit of a wash over them just to give them a nice little shade around, but everything else, we're just going to layer it up. Need some more water on my palette. So. This is the difference between just painting by habit and painting while actually thinking about what it is that you're doing, right? So, for a lot of people, they have just automatic behaviors when it comes to painting. So it's like, right, I've got my base coats down, now I get my wash stages done, now I get my highlight stages done, and you need to break out from that little mold. And at times just really, really, really think about what it is that you're painting and what you're trying to achieve on the model. There you go. There you go. Head to that grimdark bit. Bunny Nuns. They've got some really cool stuff. And their upcoming things, they've got some like inspired by Skaven minis going on. They look super cool. Like some Storm Fiends. I think that's what they're called, the big rat ogres these days. It's amazing the amount of different companies that just popped up sculpting epic stuff for 3D printing is just mad. I love it. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good evening. We're just doing some bright gold highlights. Look at the difference between the gold just here on that skeleton compared to that one. Super bright. Kind of bright. Super bright. And we go one step further as well with our highlight. We've got another pass to do, which is a mixture of this gold and our Vallejo silver. As always, we've got a mix of that ready made in a little pot, ready to go. On these little, we call them feathers rather than whiskers, despite that's what they look like, really. Going to do the majority, but aiming up towards the brightest point being the far end of these. So where the brush strokes are all going in that one direction. And get a quick edge highlight across the top of there, but otherwise we'll leave this bit mostly dark. We'll come in with a brighter highlight and just snag those rivets with it, and that'll be it. With a booty short Space Marine parts, I'm all set. Brilliant. The Void Dragon, mate, the mini looks cool. The rules are really good. Like, don't get me wrong, he is an absolute weapon, but he's been overshadowed quite dramatically by the Nightbringer. The Nightbringer is everything that everyone wanted him to be. He is fucking terrifying now. And I'm going to have to get one. I'm going to have to buy the Fine Crap mini. Unless anyone knows of a mini that fits on a 40mm base without a massive overhang, because the Nightbringer is still 40mm, which makes no sense whatsoever. But it is what it is. I'm not interested in the Morghast. It doesn't look like the Nightbringer to me. It just looks like a large ghoul or something. Battlescribe is going to be updated probably tomorrow, from what I've heard. Is the Deceiver any good? The Deceiver's not bad. He really isn't, but his redeploy, has he still got that? Let me just grab my weighty tome. Let's see. Like, what have we got in the codex? Let's look for Catan Shard of the Deceiver. Grand Illusion, 3 Necrons units, hold within your deployment zone, or into strategic reserves instead. That's good. So yes, he does have his thing, and it's now full 3 rather than D3, which was kind of rubbish. I mean, good luck doing that in a Strike Force game there, buddy. But yeah, that's solid. It's just his Catan power is a little bit nothing crazy on that one. And he's not the combat beast that the... No, it is a redeploy, Ritio Santi, but it has to be within your deployment zone. So you can't, like, redeploy whatever you might have that's got a scout move or something similar. Sorry, infiltrate is what I meant to say, not scout move. But I think his redeploy, whilst it's great, because that is great, it's a powerful ability, being able to fuck with your opponent in deployment phase. No, that's a no-go. He can put them into strategic reserves, though, so he could pay CP to do it, but I think that would be something like 8 CP to get them both up there. Aren't they 30-something? No, they can't be 31. Maybe the high 20s, so that would be high 50s. So it would be like 6 CP to put those up there. Winter and Newton, mate. Exclamation point brushes. But yeah, the sea was good. But that redeploy, I'm probably just going to take everyone in your army gets to make a normal move of up to 6 inches after you've decided first turn. Because my god, that's super strong. You can move forward to get closer for your Gorse Reapers. Flayers? Reapers. Because they've got a really short range and you want to be obviously right up front with those. You can get out of harm's way. You can deploy things like your Doomstalkers and so on, where they can see and then go, alright, cool, I didn't get first turn. I will move them out of the way a little bit. It's just so much of an obvious choice I tell you guys all the time, the games are won and lost in the movement phase. This is a free movement phase for your whole fucking army. Apart from Catan. Remember Catan, they're not Dynasty, they won't get that, neither will Silent Kings, he's an Aztec agent. You know, there's a few things that won't benefit from that rule. But just deploy safe with those. So it's super powerful. That one and the Super Obsec. As soon as I saw Super Obsec on a Nihilak strats, I'm like, I'm playing Nihilak. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Oh, I mean, you can try claiming that code if you want, dude. I appreciate the heads up, but I was trolling to see who I could get to bite with that. Like, those codes, they're already taken. Like, we were on that shit, like white on rice. As soon as I ripped it open, let's have a go. I had no issues getting my books in the app either, by the way. Yeah, none at all. Yeah, waiting for the screenshots. Like, I tried to add your book and I couldn't. But Tiz, brother, I appreciate the lookout. Thank you very much, sir. I removed the app and requested my money back. Fair. I like the app. Honestly, I genuinely think it's good. Did anyone read their Meta Watch article on the Warhammer community page? That was written alongside Nick Nanavati, one of the premier 40k players in the world, and just an absolute boss as well. The guy's just so cool. There was some screenshots of his Harlequin army written on what may or may not have been an application on a mobile device that looked crazily like a Samsung screen. Who knows? That's a very sexy looking app though, if that's it. Yeah, I think the whole sub option thing should be like, I've said no, please remember I said no and leave me the fuck alone. But equally, I appreciate that's not really GW's business model in general. So that's unlikely to be the case. But I love having a digital reference for the codex that isn't Battlescribe, if I'm honest. I love Battlescribe, but you can never really count on it. There's been so many things over the years that has been like, oh, Battlescribe says I can do this. Yeah, but your codex says you can't, so shove it. And I'm aware that there are still some errors on the GW app. I'm not saying that they've nailed it by any stretch of the imagination. Or am I saying, nailed it? But I do like it. I just want the army builder to be as good as we all want it to be. And then I'll be a happy man. I'm assuming though that the army builder is going to be a case of you can only build armies for codexes that you've bought. You know. So I work in app development currently. At the moment, I work in app development, and I can understand how things go wrong. However, because I am quality assurance, I can also understand somebody saying, "You're not fucking releasing that. I'm not signing off on it." Because that's me saying that sometimes. And I can understand people being put under pressure to release an app even without QA saying, "Go for it, dude." But with the fan base that the game has, which is at times quite rabid, you know, we're all very passionate about the things that we love, and 40k is definitely one of those things for some of us. Certainly for me, it's, you know, it's a big part of my life is this game. And so as a consequence, if it goes out wrong, then there's going to be quite a large and public outcry. Right, how are we going to do this? Let's pick up the top section for a start. That's definitely got a highlight on. Let's thin this down again. So we're glazing metallics in a little bit. Not going quite to a glaze, but heading towards that way with our paint consistency now. Which, by the way, you can do fine. It just deposits a lot of metallic flag. So just be careful of that. So this is true metallic metal. Just getting it around that flame rather than over any of that line. And the lines we've got here that help sort of showcase the flame. That's a prime example of something that will be getting a wash just dropped into it later on in the process to really help that stand out. There we go. So a couple of quick passes for that. You've got darker area underneath, heading up to that brighter area on top. What else can we use for scoring? So ITC Battles is still up there. However, I am slightly impressed by BCP for scoring. Like, really am. That being said, when Ninth came out, because we didn't have an app that was ready for use for scoring, I switched from using ITC Battles to just a piece of paper and a pen. Oh, shit you not, I find that so much easier than typing it on an app. I went from scoring on pen and paper to only using the ITC Battles app for I couldn't tell you how long. The fact that it tracked my games and everything else was cool. I loved that. Especially my practice games, you know, because you never really think about what your win-loss ratio actually is. But when you've got that data, that's really, really nice. I'm sat at an 80% win rate throughout all of 8th and currently 9th. I'm really happy with that. Because here's something I realised the other day. People get bummed out losing games of 40k at tournaments. And here's why you shouldn't. Yes, it sucks. You all want to win every game. But when you think about something, who here is a fan of football, like normal football, English football, soccer, whatever you call it? Or even American football. Let's go with American football. Who here is an American football fan? An American football team in the regular season plays 16 games. And there are teams that have won all 16 games in their season. There aren't many. It's like 3, I think. It's the Indianapolis Colts from like however long ago. And then didn't the Patriots do it? Or the Giants? You know, it's happened in recent memory. So it is possible to win all 16 games in a season, but it's super, super hard. Now think about the amount of 40k games you play in a year. Just at tournaments. Last year, I went to 17 tournaments. Let's say 6 of them were one-day events for 3 games a day. So already, that's 18 games. Just my one-day events was more games played than an entire NFL season. Then that leaves us with 11 two-day events of at least 5 games. Let's say it's 1 6-game event there and 10 5-games for easy maths. So that's 56 plus the 18 from the other one. That's 74 games of 40k. You're never going to win that many games in a row. Just not. I realised this the other day, and so don't get bummed out about losing games of 40k events. Because you're pitting yourself against a season that is way too long to have any realistic chance of success in every single game. Think about baseball players in the US. Now, I'm not a fan of baseball. I don't really follow the sport. I've got no bad blood or anything against the sport. I just don't follow it. Baseball players play over 100 games a season, right? You have to go into the season knowing that you are going to lose a substantial number of your games. So you need to be okay with the fact you're going to lose some. Fish, I am the same. Anytime someone puts toys on the table against me, I want to beat them. Mr. Pie29, thank you for the follow. I want to beat them so bad that they question their ability to play the game and their army choices. I want to destroy that person. The right way, though. You know, not to cheat to win. I want to beat them because I'm better. But my point still stands. You need to be okay with the fact that when it doesn't happen, it's alright. Regular season for baseball team, 160 games. Let's say you're really fucking good at baseball, you and your team, and you win like 80% of your games. That means you've lost 32 games. Dice game based on a lot of chance. Surely you can expect to win 100% of games. You can expect to win the majority. Because the best players remove as much chance as possible from their game. Whether it's redundancy or like re-rolls or just good movement phase, discipline, planning for the turn you're playing now, your opponent's turn that they're going to play in a minute, and your turn that you're going to play afterwards based on what you think they're going to do. You've got all of that to consider in the middle of a game of 40k. Reading your opponent's game plan is super, super important. It's fuck hard to do too. But that's why the players that can do that are the ones that consistently come in as top places at events. I really like that. Is that you, Saragon? Yes, it is. I thought it might have been because I couldn't read your name. Your name is in dark blue on this black background. It's about the right length, so... There you go, this guy gets it. In my last few games against myself, I won every game. Damn, man. That's a hell of a record. How did your opponent feel about it? There you go, just blend those up. Cool beans. Right, now we're going to go up to our final highlight of gold. Regio Santi. Absolutely, man. I think the biggest thing you can do as a novice is having an honest retrospective of the game that you played. If you're, so we're not talking about like just a beer and pretzels player that just wants to go to their local and have a few fun games of 40k. They don't care if they win or lose. But people that are trying to become a bit more competitive, to go to tournaments and have a chance of winning the big trophy and so on. If you want to be that kind of player, the first thing you need to do is be able to look at your gameplay from an honest point of view and go, yeah, I fucked up here, here, and here, and here. Binkleton, just take buggies, man. A lot less chance of things going wrong with buggies. I have no grounds for that theory, but you know, why not? Take buggies. Right, nice crisp edges we're looking for now for some of this. This is that final highlight. This is a mix of our Dwarven Gold and Vallejo Silver, and you can see there's definitely a silver element to this. But if we keep this super thin and just hit the very highlights with it, it will help temper our gold a little bit, make it a little colder, which will help with the red. It will also really give us a nice shine to what we're doing as well. I play 10 games a night by 9. I won all but one. Of course, I'm using Harleys, and not everyone is a 20. Yeah, Harleys are rough to play against, mate. That's good, dude. That's good. You sound like a great guy to play. Aside from the fact you're playing Harlequins right now, I hate that game. As a night player, as soon as my opponent just drops out the Harleys, I'm like, all right, have you got any bikes? Yeah. Cool. Thanks for the game, dude. There's nothing I can do in that matchup. If I go first and get lucky, and they've deployed badly, and they haven't phantasmed, you know, then there's a few things I can do. But Cakefist, maybe going to a tournament will help you out with that. Like a lot of the players that are in my sort of local group never started off as tournament players. They were the guys just like, oh, I just want to go down to the club on a Wednesday and play toys, right? I want to run my Space Wolves around a table and go aroo a lot. We have got one guy, he's an absolute sweetheart, but when he plays his Space Wolves, he played my housemate, and when he made his charge, he went for a wolf howl and just went aroo, and the entire room went quiet. Everyone stopped, sort of. Moving on. You got anyone else that does that? Causes war? All those sorts of things? But yeah, they all started off as guys like that, and then went to an event because I ran a one-day event, and they had to focus a bit more on the rules at that point. So they gradually got better and better. They started taking their practice games just a little bit more seriously, and trying to get the rules right. Back before COVID, I used to get probably half a dozen WhatsApp messages a week from random people in my gaming group, just being like, just a quick question, mate. In this kind of example, what happens here? Am I playing this right? And that's great. I love that. Zen, how you doing, brother? Sally's, yeah, they they have the chops, or they had the chops at least, to take on Harleys. I'm not sure what they're like in that matchup post-Codex. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff in the new book, but there's also quite a lot of stuff that's been taken away, thankfully, in my eyes. Unfortunately, they didn't take away Eradicators. There you go, look at that super shine now. You've got that definition coming in on that little wing on his back. Loving it. May I start doing that now with my new Space Wolves? Absolutely, man. Aroo! It was like the shittest version of Nixon Bot from Futurama. Aroo! Every now and again, I do it to Ben just to make him shudder. I don't understand why so many people are confused about terrain. Who here in the chat is unclear on how terrain works in 9th edition 40k? And please don't take this as me being insulting, although I am. I'm trying not to be. What is it that you're having a problem with, and why do you think that you're having that problem? Because I just want to know. I want to know if there's an easier way of me explaining it to people when we're having a game. Because people forget. Like, oh, I'm going to shoot with that. It's obscuring. Oh. Is it just you're not used to it? You're old and stubborn and irrational and don't like change. So you're still playing 5th edition. That's basically obscuring. Des, always look back to your mistakes. Lost game of the week, so pick the wrong secondary. Yeah. Surround the mission specific one doesn't. Oh god, no. No. Most of the mission specific ones are absolute ass. There are a couple that are decent, depending on the army that you've got, but the majority of them are just ass. Again, right towards the end of these points, on these probably whiskers but feathers. Get out your logical arguments. Sorry, fish, did I piss on your chips? Like it, miss, though. The -2 movement thing, that's massive as well. Yeah, area terrain, that hurts every army, apart from Harleys, actually. Yeah, I think it's the same. I think it's just a lack of reps getting it in their head, but there are a lot of people that just whinge that they say terrain rules are bad. And in my mind, all I can think of is, at least we've got real rules for terrain now. Like, I'm not a humongous fan of the obscuring keyword and the way it interacts with knights, obviously. That really, really hurts my army. But we're in a much better state for terrain than we were last edition. People still need real terrain that really blocks line of sight, I think. I think that's really important to the game in general. But as far as terrain goes, I think it's just practice beginning. We grab GW pages of picture terrains which say this is ruins. Yeah, that's honestly, it's even a step in the pre-game like discussion with your opponent is look at all the terrain and tell each other what it is. Like it's literally written there in the book. Oh, speaking of terrain and books, here we go. This is the slightly contentious conversation. Has anyone picked up this Other chapter approved of please bring terrain because we don't have any. So anyone had a look at that? The one fucking horrible idea is genuinely a non-starter for me is bring your own terrain to games thing. Exactly that. That's what we're getting to. I run events, and I think that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Certainly, if I was traveling to another country for an event, which I do semi-regularly, and the organizer said, oh, as well as your army and your suitcase and your luggage, could you please also bring half a table's worth of terrain? That's at least 11 pieces of terrain, say? The hell? I mean, part of me is completely for it, because I would turn up to every event with several 9-inch tall, 2-inch wide walls that were about this long, that don't have reachable, don't have scalable, have unstable ground, exposed position, obscuring. And that'll do. That would really help out my army, to be honest. That'd be super, super good for knights. But fuck that noise. I'm waiting for Warhammer World to have a tournament that they use a tactical deployment. That's it. That's the thing, right? Tactical deployment. Just because they can't be asked to paint up the amount of terrain they need for a 40k event. I'm waiting for that to be like the next GT pack for their thing, is that. Jason's at 4 breeze blocks to a game. Yeah, just curling them all in one arm. Here's how to psych out your opponent, Lado. Stick these in your pocket. But yeah, I can't. I just can't get that idea. I don't get it. Yeah, it is massive fucking walls. I can hide my knights. There you go. Take that, you Space Marine players, with your fucking relic contemptors at 200 points with 4 last cannons. Can't shoot what you can't see. Yeah, that was just one of the dumbest things. Somebody in their marketing department must have fucking hugged themselves to sleep after that one, though. Why don't we make people buy a book that then makes them buy terrain? $180. I thought it was 200 for the relic contempt to a twin las. Cakefist, I am 100% in agreement with that, which is why I think the World Team Championship terrain pack that was previewed just before I went to Jib is one of the best examples of what tournament organisers should be looking for with their terrain. Obviously, you're always constrained by what terrain you actually have or a budget for terrain, right? I get that. I have to play by those rules. So at my local, we've got 10 sets of the LGT MDF terrain. And it's not bad terrain. It's serviceable, right? You can do a lot with it. But I've come up with a different terrain layout to the sort of traditional LGT style that makes use of both the obscured and dense keywords, so that we have a set of deployments that work really well. I think, at least. And the feedback that I've had from players that have attended the events has been very positive as well. You know, they've liked the terrain, but it is exactly the same terrain on every single table. Same layout, same measurements for the layout as well. It's measured, so it's exactly the way I want it to be, to create a balanced field for all armies. Now, I understand people saying that they don't like stuff like that because in their mind, you know, it's having everything the same doesn't, you know, help their immersion in the game and stuff. And the other argument, which is accurate because it's happened for Nova, is that all that really does is promote a sort of local meta of, I know what the terrain's going to look like, so I'll bring this army that deals with both my opponent's army and the terrain at hand. I get it. But I still think that's the best way to play the game. Think about the number of multiplayer games that are on consoles. And yeah, I know we make this comparison all the time and it never really works, but look at something like League of Legends, where literally millions of games are played, possibly even daily, on exactly the same map. Because it helps keep things competitive. Because it's all about player skill. It's all about coordination with your teammates and so on. I think if we remove as much of the random factors from 40k as we can do, obviously not dice rolls, but things like terrain, mission. Notice there's no fucking Maelstrom cards anymore. You know, then that's better for the game. That being said, I'm a math nerd and I love theorycraft, so maybe I'm not the least biased person to talk about that sort of thing. Right, so there's almost 2 bits of leg armour done. And then, what time is it? Just gone 11. Just gone 11. You say no cards yet. I mean, they've kind of moved away from that model with the secondary missions based in the rulebook. Also, by the way, for anyone thinking of buying the fucking faction cards, just be really, really sure that you want them for a specific reason before you buy them. Alright? Because they're 15 quid a set. I bought the Necron ones solely, and this is dumb, I appreciate, but solely for the protocols. That was it. Nothing else. Because frankly, I think that's the best way of handling it is with the cards. But everything else in there is Catan powers and your strats. That's the size of it, right? So just the strats are going to be on your phone, on the app. If you pay for your book, you can then just look at it in the app without having a subscription. So you've got access to those. So if you're the kind of person that either doesn't have a smartphone, that's cool. There's plenty of those, or doesn't have a reliable connection at the areas that you play, or just likes to do things physically, not digitally, then get the card packs. But if you're not that kind of person, I probably wouldn't bother. They seem very expensive for what they are. A few more generic secondaries, yes, absolutely we do. The army specific ones currently have all been completely shit as well. Just no. Yeah, I think if they put another sort of 20 secondaries in, then you'd have something you could max on each mission. I think we should all be playing to try and get 100 points. And it's very easy to deny your opponent quite a lot just by taking, say, 4 characters and 4 vehicles instead of 5. So, yeah, that's a solid reason. Solid reason. I know a lot of people have like counters for that sort of thing, rather than using the card. Some people may even have like made a like an effigy, some sort of avatar for it as well. I've seen a few of those done for various psychic powers. The odd litany, you know. But yeah, just a quick like shout out. Get on that. Another one. This is great. Does anyone need to buy some more Necron Warriors? Anyone needs some more Cron Warriors? Because I've got a great one for you guys here. Starts with not buying a Necron Warrior box. Some of you would have seen this one. Buy the starter set. There he is. Fish with the absolute best ideas. Buy the tiny starter set for about £3 more, I think. It's not much. No, the little one is the cheapest one to get for it. But you get your warriors. You also get a royal warden, and you get some assault intercessors, and I want to say a primaris lieutenant. And who doesn't need more of those? So, yeah, little hobby hack. Those starter sets, always a good resource. Wound counters on bases and stuff, I've seen that in other games, and I'm not a fan just because of the aesthetics. I get why it's useful, but I also have a gigantic pile of D10s, so you know. You get the scarabs in the warrior box anyway, mate. They're part of the same sprue. So, but that's why I didn't mention them. So, Jesus Christ. We don't talk about dollary dues in this stream because it's always a feels bad. To be honest, Fish, I think you deserve a booting. I was under the impression that it was October the 4th was their projected, like, this is when you'll get it by, for the second wave Indom boxes. Is that not right? Was that the thing? Oh yes, by the way, for the Necronathon 2, there's going to be another 20 warriors. Going to have 80 warriors painted up, ready to rock. It's when you really need that silver tide. I've seen that as well. Yeah, like removable elements of a base for wounds. The first knight I ever made, and it was Rita, named after the Iron Bitch from Edge of Tomorrow, the film where you get to see Tom Cruise get killed a million times, which is just entertainment in itself. But I did LED glowing eyes because I felt like it, and it was a massive kit, and why not? It's just gonna look cool, so let's just do it. But I also magnetized literally every armor plate. Don't recommend it. So that when the knight was being destroyed, it's losing its wounds. That's a shoulder pad off. That's a knee pad off. Did have some slight worries at the end of the game with like, has anyone seen a knight shin guard? Wouldn't advise that. But I'm not the only person to have ever done that, I know this. Because I stole the idea off Reddit. Alright, we're going to be going into the whip gallery in just a few minutes. We're coming up towards the edge of the stream. As the music ominously stops at exactly that moment, which was super cool of it, but... So if you've got something you would like to show off, exclamation point Discord in the chat, get yourself a link, come join our Discord community. We've got a bunch of decent people. We've got the occasional oddball. Every community has the occasional oddball. But you can come and show off what you've been working on. We'll show it on stream. We'll have a chat about it. If you're looking for some feedback, just ask. I'm hoping that very soon we'll see some of Danny's feedback. Sorry, some of Danny's minis in there for some feedback from you guys, because Danny and I have been having some private one-on-one painting lessons. If that's something that you're interested in, drop me a line on Discord. Hit me up. We've been teaching Danny how to do some non-metallic metals, and we went through a lesson last night on how to establish value layers on a miniature. So values are essentially the areas of light and darkness and how you establish those. So your shadows, your highlights, and so on. So he's found that really useful. And maybe something you want to do too. This weekend, I've actually got an entire day's worth of painting. It's going to be me and my buddy Nick. Going to be painting a Dark Angel from start to finish, as well as a Deathwing guy and a Ravenwing guy, all on just basic power armor. So he gets to see all of the process on how to do those. That's going to be this weekend. Painting lessons, usually Monday night. I did mention you. How was your practice? Did you get much more done last night after your lesson? This is what we've done today. We've done some gold on, well, technically speaking, 4 bits of armor, because these join together to be one piece. Over the next stream, we'll finish these sections off with the red, build that all up. I want to put that on Magnus. Hopefully, by then, I'll have done a little bit more of the gold on some of the other elements, and we can just get all the armor, like, chunk in at once. I do, however, need to get those feathers done off stream, which takes a while. Not going to lie about that one. It's a long one. So, plenty of work left to do on Magnus. Hoping to get him finished by the end of this month, though, because this has been a hell of a project. Let's go have a look in Discord. Let's also not forget, though, this month's mystery giveaway. One of the prizes that you'll know about is this young lady, Sergeant Ripper Jackson, the Katachan Sergeant, looking absolutely spectacular. It's good. This could be yours, painted in the colour scheme of your choice. You could also win that £50 hobby voucher to a hobby store of your choice. It's all about your choice. On Sunday, we'll unveil the second of the 2 minis going in the mystery giveaway. And then the Sunday after, we'll reveal the box. Could be anything in the box. Really want that model? Mate, it's just banging. Just banging. Brilliant. Well done, Danny. Right, let's go look in the whip. Currently, we've got Santi. He's getting his gas goal going on again. Look at that battle damage. That is some good battle damage, dude. Yeah, I like that. Nice little bit of 3D effect with the cracks. A little bit of very light chipping over the top of it with that lighter blue off-white. Digging this, dude. Backpack, also getting some weathering. Got some verdigris going on there as well. And it doesn't look like you've used that nylic oxide shit either. Don't use that. At all. Just use a sort of turquoisey thing and you'll be fine. I'm turning your eyes now, Polly. It's okay, dude. It's okay. Trying to work out if he's actually got that square jaw, if it's that the head's not quite sat in. Right. That's super green on the chin. Mix of Vallejo turquoise and sickly green. That'll do, man. That'll do. I tend to use sickly skin and Meridius blue from P3. Similar kind of colours, though. Loving it, mate. Fucking loving it. That is a hell of a green, though. Nice job, mate. Really, really nice job. You've been working on this guy for a while, though. It shows. Time's being invested well. Started damage on plates, finished weathering on the back, and did OSL on the jaw guard. It was some OSL. It looks really natural. I'm impressed. Well impressed, mate. Crownblade says, finally finished the unit. Here we go. This is his new scheme on the Steampunk Dwarf Boys. They look great as a unit, man. Like, anytime you put out a large amount of miniatures, just the sheer quantity of them really makes a difference. Very nice, man. I'd much prefer this scheme to your old scheme as well. Really like it. Maybe there's a couple of them at the front with the base tufts on. I'm guessing you just haven't quite got to the rest of them, because it looks like 2 out of the entire unit have, and that's just a little odd. But maybe you've done that to denote, I don't know, sergeants or whatever they have as their commanding officers. Like it though, mate. Crazy Yanked, here we go. Look at them. The murder giraffes. I love these things, mate. Mine are in a massive pile here. I've got 3 murder giraffes and 2 more of the locust destroyers to put together. Really, really like the models for those. Just got a lot on right now, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. But these look great. We've got the Silent King in possibly enough sub-assemblies. Don't know, man. Don't know. There's so much to paint on these guys, though. It's fucking mental. I love it. I can't wait. Really can't wait. Oh, and a chaplain on bike. God, you got through this guy quite quick. It's nice, dude. You could go a little further on the reds for like the weapon and so on. Like the handlebar grips and everything else. I know you're not finished though, because there's a lot of weathering to go on this, so it's looking good, man. It's looking good. You're a busy boy, as always. Got Silent King sitting on the shelf with Morty for me to ponder. Who do I ruin first? Morty, because he's getting a codex soon. Breaches after an oil wash. Next up is Hooves. Hooves? Oh, it's Tide People, yeah. Bring the bright orange for lenses, buttons, screens, head, mixed feelings about the guns, but good enough for troops from 3 feet away. I see what you mean about the guns. I do. I would probably try and remove just a little bit more of that oil. the rest of your tower very clean. Especially the tanks that you've done. Tide! Another month already, man. Thank you very much for that sub. I'll print you one. I only get another 20 to put me to 80. So, you tell me. But yeah, I think I'd probably just remove a little bit more of that surface residue. Just to bring them up a little bit. I like the blue, though. Yeah, blue's good. Yeah, that's what I do, mate. A little bit thinner and just bring that up a little bit. Here's Tide again. Oh, there we are. Mate, I know these are like new scheme, but you've really gone a little brighter on those. I like that. That somewhat obnoxious greeny yellow. The guy on the far right, he looks sick. Nice job. Really, really nice job. Maybe, I know you're looking to keep it like nice and dark and a little bit grim, but maybe just get a highlight on some of the edges of the silver. So for the bolt guns, you've got the barrel, the magazine. Maybe just give that a little extra highlight. But that's me being super picky. You know, there's nothing wrong with it as it is. It's just maybe that could go one step further. Your plasma is great. Yeah. Top job, man. Top job. Right, Danny. Oh, this is it. Short whip today. Damn, we're really short whip. Result of last night's lesson. So this is what Danny and I have been working on. Let's just pop this open to a big picture. So that blue head, that was done in about 5 minutes, if that. And the method we used was to put down a value layer with a really, really thin coat of white paint. So the whole mini was painted black, just got a little bit of very, very thin white, and then just started sketching in, almost like you just had a pencil and a paper, just, you know, really rough sketches of building up layers of white till we got to the point where we had the kind of highlights we wanted. We then took a very, very thin color and applied it as a filter over the top. So in this case, it's a blue. Oh, I put her away. The one I did, I had a blue head and a red chest because it showed off a couple of different colors, the way it affects the paint that you put down. This is the same way as the sort of zenithal highlights I do with an airbrush, but just with a brush. Same way of getting that value layer down. So anyone can do this. Do it that way. Too many sprues. Bit of some TT combat. Very nice, mate. We'll get to that in a sec. Here you go. So all this was done was just a little bit of white ink over black, and then thinned down. The red was an ink, the blue was just whatever blue I had lying around, Signar blue, I think. And it's a really, really swift way of getting your highlights down by providing yourself as quick, sketchy zenithal by hand with a brush. And if I'm honest, it's actually really quite relaxing. So this is what Danny and I did last night in his lesson. So, Amazon. Amazon's good, dude, honestly. That was the wrong button. Let's see what you got. Okay. Nice bits of ruined buildings. I like this. Obviously, you got that obscuring keyword going on. I've got so much terrain to do. I've got so much terrain to do. I'm thinking about buying at least one set of the Necron Convergence of Dominion or whatever it's called. Because it's only 35 quid. I've got the Death Ray Designs terrain. That's coming on Friday. I've got that massive box of Alliance Armory terrain to do. All for the Necron table. It's gonna look super, super sick. Just I need to find the time. Might have time soon. Who knows? Right, let's go and find somebody on Twitch to pass the hobby love on to. Get that raid rolling. Jesus, Jimmy the Brush is on late. What's he painting? Quite an epic looking troll. And they have just gone for a break. Or possibly just gone. Who knows? Let's see, who else have we got going on? Malev. Let's go chill out with Malev. Who's painting a dude with a chainsaw. I'm sold. Totally sold. Is this Leatherface? No, it can't be. There you go. Head off and raid Malev. Thank you to all of you for sticking around tonight. Everyone that came in for the Art of War. And of course, AMP Services streams. Much love. Thank you for being here. If you submitted something to the whip, excellent. Love seeing your work. Thank you very much for that. I will try and get some of this done off stream. It's going to be very, very difficult with my work schedule for the next couple of days. But hopefully, by the time we come back in on Thursday, we start amping up the red on these, really drilling down into some of those recesses and making sure that detail pops out. If we can get these done, I want to get them on Magnus himself so we can really see this thing take care. Zambies is here. Let's get a shout out for Zambies. Follow her, definitely. She's a badass. Peace out, everyone. We'll see you Thursday.